turn right.
Greatest drivers in Horizon history. But you know what? I'll just say you're not finished yet. The festival playlist is full of exclusive rewards and drivers who'd give anything to line up against a legend like you. You made it, but why stop there, right? Where to next?
Right, kid. We're back in it. Get here when you can.
Another stunt? I'll be right there.
100 meters. Turn right. Arrive at your destination.
Right, this is a post-credit scene. And according to the call sheet, Victor wants... both of you.
Both of us? He doesn't know I exist, right?
Scene 121A. The two Alexes. Action!
Hey, what do you see?
say we make this one real.
Oh, you know it! See you at the finish line!
Ah, yes, this is what we have been working toward. The within made manifest, the conflict real, the outcome unknowable. My greatest work. A clever wazzock.
And that, with any luck, is definitely, positively a wrap. So, Victor's asked me to join his remake of Rendezvous. Turns out he saw the thing we did in Edinburgh. It's a huge opportunity. And all thanks to you, kid.
Actually, you know, I've got this idea. It's about twins who fight crime. In cars. I'm in. Tell me more.
Saludos again. Remember our stock versus scratch race where I beat you by about 2 millas?
Not how I remember it.
Papa Fernando said a racer should be their own mecánico. Well, I have the ultimate test. Come and meet me.
Turn left. Turn left. sharp left. 200 meters. Turn sharp left. Calculating route. Meters. Turn left. 200 meters. Turn left. At the roundabout, take the first exit.
So, what do you have planned, Ellie?
Nada. Well, I did get a hold of a bare VW Beetle chassis, and I have built something from scratch. Papa Fernando would probably think I've gotten a little bit loca.
And you've got a Koenigsegg here too, because...
Because we're going to race them, of course. This time I get stuck, and don't hold anything back.
You're on!
What did you think of my diaper bocho?
I think you set this whole thing up just so you can say hyperbocho.
Maybe I did. If you like, bring your bocho down to the auto show sometime, and I'll show you how to customize it.
Oh, and mi familia has organized a small exhibit of Papa Fernando's things at the outpost. You should take un vistazo.
He sounds like a great guy. I wish I'd known him.
Hola, hola! Remember the old book I told you about? I went and dug it out of a box at my padre's place. I want to try and find something.
And you need a driver.
And I need a driver. Yeah, bien. Head for Las Barrancas. I'll explain on the way.
So, what are we looking for?
My favorite book is called El Camino de Sydney Wольverstoun, about an explorer who traveled Mexico 200 years ago. In her book, she describes these Atlantis she found, giant statues. But there aren't supposed to be any of those near here.
Giant statues? From an old book?
That aren't supposed to exist, yes. I've been piecing together clues from the book. Do you think you can get this car right into the river at the bottom of the Copper Canyon?
You really don't know me very well.
The Copper Canyon is a wonder of Mexico. There used to be 6 separate rivers which came together to create the landscape that we're seeing now. 4 times larger than the Grand Canyon, covering 25,000 square miles. Oh, and the green color in the rock is why I got that name, copper. A ver, let's get pictures here. In the book, Lady Sydney's expedition makes camp here, but that's just a fun story. Yeah, the book talks about setting up camp on an island and finding the statue in the afternoon light. It would have been about this time of day. That is increíble. How has no one ever found this before? Hola, amigo. According to the book, there is a statue at El Arco de Cabo San Lucas. Wольverstoun said she found it at sunset, but I thought we could try an experiment. I've worked out where the book says the statue should be. We can set out and reach the area around mid-morning and see what we can find. Or the other option is we get to El Arco just as the sun sets. If you believe the story, that's when we'll find the statue. Meet me here when you're ready to set out. We'll reach El Arco by mid-morning easily.
Turn around when it is safe to do so. You have arrived at your destination.
All right, let's get going. The sun's setting, but we have enough time to get there along the beach. I'm excited. Do you think we'll find it?
To be honest, I don't know. But I'm getting the sense that there's more to Mexico than meets the eye.
Did you know Sydney Wольverstoun was also a, ¿cómo se dice? What's the word? Botanista? A botanist, a natural historian, and a pretty decent artista. You want to talk about las maravillas de Mexico? Just read about her life. The book describes several sites where Sydney Wольverstoun found statues. She believed they weren't Aztec though, which is interesting because they look Toltec to me, but even that isn't really clear. We know so little about the Toltecs, about the whole pre-conquest era, in fact. There are so many undiscovered sites, so much forgotten history in Mexico, so many things we don't know about the people who've lived here for thousands of years. There, down onto the beach. The book says, we found the statue by the ark looking out across the Pacific in the warm light of the setting sun. Interesting. The design doesn't seem entirely Aztec, but it does remind me of Tlaloc, the rain god. This is amazing. I'll work out where the next one should be and give you a call.
Where does the trail lead from here?
South and inland. I'm sure of it. I'll be in touch. Hey, amigo. I've been reading the diary over and over. I think Lady Sydney's expedition came inland, but no sé. It's hard to find the evidence.
Turn around when it is safe to do so. 400 meters. Turn left. Turn left. You have arrived at your destination.
Okay, we'll check out El Arco de Cabo San Lucas and see if it matches the book. Let's get there fast.
You've read my mind.
There, down onto the beach. The book says, we found the statue by the ark looking out across the Pacific in the warm light of the setting sun. I don't see it. Huh. Well, let's get some lunch and try back later in the day. Oh, I told you that was the best place to eat around here. Was I wrong? Aye. Okay, we need to get going. Can you get us to the beach before the sun sets?
You mean outrun the sun? Yep, I think I can do that. Even with the extra helping of tres leches.
Outrunning the sun. Now, down to El Arco before we lose a light. And get your camera ready. There it is! Right in the sun where the book said. Grab a picture of it.
Right, that is freaking me out. It's right there. How did we miss it?
The shadows were really deep just here earlier. Maybe we just didn't see it? But now I really want to see if we can find any more of these mysterious statues. ¿Qué onda, amigo? I've been reading the diary over and over. I think Lady Sydney's expedition came inland, but... no sé, No sé, it's hard to find the evidence.
Turn left. Turn left.